So in this video, we are going to be taking a look at a very common issue for those who are absolutely brand new to 3D printing. We just want to create. We want to create stuff. We don't want to have to sit and think about it. We just want to click on print. But sometimes frustration can come to us very, very quickly because what seems like a very simple task suddenly is not so simple. So I thought this is a really good example of someone brand new to 3D printing. They want to do something super simple and they are absolutely pulling out their hair hours later. So, what do I recommend? Yes, I have to sell myself. Take some classes from us. It's a little bit of money, but it will save you loads and loads of frustration. All right? So, and ask your questions because it's from your questions that we make videos. And this is a very common thing that everybody wants to do when they first get their printer. And so it's a very, very practical thing that he wants to do. We just don't know exactly how to do it. So let's take a look. So this particular file is from MakerWorld. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to flip this over and take a look at it. So we're going to go to our rotate here, and on the Y we're just going to turn it over and take a gander. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. So what we've got here is, and this is exactly how he sent it to me. So what we've got here is a little Porsche keychain. Okay, his son's turning 1 and he wants to have a little goodie bag to hand out to the kids. And so we've got this little Porsche. Now, the first thing that I do when I sit and analyze a file, if I look at this and go to the scale tool, 40 millimeters. That is from the front bumper to the rear wing. So what does that tell me? Well, that tells me this thing is tiny. From a 3D printing perspective, this is absolutely microscopic. All right, so it's barely 2 inches. It's not even 2 inches yet. 2 inches is 50 millimeters. So this is about 1.75 inches. So that is very, very tiny. And he's trying to print this, Adam's first birthday. Okay. Now I do want to show you this also, right? So that's not right. That's that's not going to print worth a darn. But this is just absolutely microscopic. So what I want to do firstly is take a look at how the model is created. That's step number 1, and then try to figure out what we can actually do with it. So if we go to our Objects tab, you can see here there are different pieces of the puzzle. So for example, if I were to move that piece, that's one piece. So, but see how I just moved that piece over here and then this remained? Why does this piece exist? There's no reason for that, right? Because we still have it over here. And this is common. So now we have this. That's the whole back plate, which is fine. But then that means we don't actually need any of these parts. If we delete these parts, you could see that basically it all stays there. Now, there's a reason that this particular file was made the way it was, and I won't go into depth in that, but I just want to see how the file is made. So essentially, the way this file is designed, it's designed to print totally flat. Okay, so that's step number 1. It's designed to print totally flat. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drag this text out here, and let's just go ahead and delete that text. Okay, so we know now that this file is designed to be totally flat. So that's fine. So then we want, let's go ahead and, we're not going to delete that front bumper piece, but we are going to change the color. Because ultimately, I think that's where I want my text to be, Adam's first birthday. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our text tool, and we'll just type out the text we want. So this is our text. Okay. Real simple. Now the thickness of this text is 2 millimeters, and we're going to make it 1, but it's got to be way smaller. We could squish it, and we can make it way smaller. Okay. Now my first gut instinct for this particular file is just to go ahead and print this on the face and put Adam's first birthday on the back, because then you can make Adam's first birthday much bigger and you won't have to try and fit it on the front bumper here. I want to show you and talk about fitting it on the front bumper though. So let's go ahead and bring it over here near the front bumper, and we'll keep scaling it because it is a little bit big still. Okay, we'll grab our move tool. We're going to have to rotate it a little bit. Okay, so we're getting there. Now, where did our text go? Our text is down there now, which is fine. So our text is on our build plate because it's not part of our car. How thick is the car itself? The car itself is only 1.74 millimeters thick, which is tiny. So I would probably, for a keychain, let's just set the car to 2. Maybe that'll be easier. All right, and then we can come down here. The text, shift control the assembly, right click and merge. And then the text, let's go ahead and change it to be white, but then let's put it on the surface. So the text is going to be 1 millimeter. So therefore, the Z height has to be, the Z height of the top of the car is 2 millimeters thick. So this Z height for our text should be 1. And so if we move this down over the bumper here, let's see, actually that should be 2. So the text is 1, but the Z height is 2. Okay, so now you can see the text is actually sitting on top. And we don't want the text to sit on top. We want the text to be flush with the face of this. So we go back to our move tool, and if we do 0.5, so 1.5 that is, I wanted to move it down a 0.5 millimeter. Now you can see that the text is now flush. So that is kind of step number 1. So now we'll go down here to our text and we can fine tune the position again. Okay, it's not quite where we need it. It's close, but it's not quite. And we probably are going to go ahead and scale it down a little bit. Just a touch. And then let's just move it up a little bit. That's more or less inside the bumper. Okay. So now what I want to do is double check the Z height here. We do know that that has to be at 1.5. Okay. Now let's go ahead and slice it. And then you can see that if we turn off our seams, you can see we don't really see anything. What is that? Just a blob at the moment. So we'll go back to our Prepare tab, and our Adam text is white. Not sure exactly what's happening here. So now I just raised that a 0.5 millimeter. So what if I did 1.75? So now you can see it is still proud of that. So this should be at 1.5. but it looks like that is too far down. 1.5. And you can see it looks like it's just barely too far down. Let's look at the thickness here. The whole thickness is 2. But I think it's not exactly 2. That's where the issue is. Bambu Studio is not exactly super precise. So for example, if we turn this upside down, well, let's just go ahead and do it. So we're going to turn this upside down, 180 degrees. And then our text here, that Z height, our text is, see how thick is our text? .90. Text is supposed to be 1. And then therefore its Z height is 0.5. So when we slice our plate, you can see we still got nothing. Okay? We're going to go ahead and slice that one more time. Let's go back to our preview. All right, so we've got nothing going on there. All right? And essentially what's happening is that the text, that line of text, this right here, obviously is way smaller than 0.4. So when you're dealing with a microscopic print like we're dealing with, on the global tab, under quality, we want to change our line widths to 0.25. That's the default line width. The initial layer to 0.25. The outer wall and inner wall, we can leave it at the defaults, but the top surface we want to change. So now if we slice the plate, you can see we still get essentially nothing. And again, that has to do with the fact that this is just too small. Okay, that's really what it boils down to. So what's our next option? Our next option would be just to make it a little bit bigger. So it's currently at 40. Let's use uniform scale and let's bump it to 60. Okay, just a little bit bigger, and then slice the plate. And now you can see we're getting closer. Okay, we're getting closer. It's still got to be bigger, but at least now you can kind of see it peeking through. So how big do we have to go? Well, what we have to do is go back to our scale tab. Let's try 70 and slice the plate. Now we're getting even closer. We have most of our text. There is some little areas that are dropping out. So now, what if we did 75 and then slice the plate? And there we go. We have all of the text that we are supposed to have. Now, there are some little gaps here for the black, but it's just too small to print like that. So it's just too small to print. So that is all you can do. Okay? But you can see here how tiny this is. Our nozzle width is 0.25, and look, that is just one nozzle width. Here, this is just a little bit bigger than 0.25. So that's why there's like 2 passes, and this is just 1. Now on our D here, you can see there's actually 2 passes being made. Same thing with the B. Okay, on the S here, you can see there's 2 passes being made. So it's slightly more than a quarter of a millimeter. But that is how big your piece would have to be. So this is now, so this piece here, the keychain, is now 75. So that's 3 inches for the keychain. That's still not very big, but at least you could see how big the text is. So the real consideration, when you're trying to do very tiny stuff, the main consideration is you just have to think about what you're asking for. Very practical. In this case, that's text is very, very microscopic. It's very, very tiny. A half a millimeter, that's very tiny. And so if we go back to our default settings and go back to slice plate, then obviously you are not going to get the results that you want. So just kind of keep that in mind. We're gonna, and this time we're just changing. We're not going to change the initial layer, the outer wall. We're just changing the default layer width and the top surface layer width only, and slice it that way. And you can see that doesn't work. So we have to change the initial layer, and then that does work. Okay, so the devil's in the details, guys. That's the takeaway. All right, but hopefully now you better understand that when your slicer is doing odd things that we don't understand, there's a reason for it. And if it looks good here in your slice preview, I promise you, if you print this out, it's going to look basically just like you see it here on screen. If it looks bad here on screen, it's definitely going to look bad when you go to print. All right? So hopefully that helps you out a little bit, and you better understand exactly what to expect from your slicer and what's actually printable. So until next time, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or need one-on-one training or some custom files made for you, this is my contact information, so feel free to reach out via email. You can text me. You could even give me a call. I'd be happy to answer questions or give you more details on the one-on-one training we offer, and as well as if you need custom files made until you are up to speed on how to make them yourself, feel free to reach out and we'd be happy to help you with that as well.